Howdy, welcome back to Jules' Archive, or welcome if you're new. Today I wanted to talk about some favorites I've been enjoying this fall, from media to physical items, and I'm super late to this hype train, but I recently watched Sinners at the beginning of November. It's just incredible. I know everyone already knew this, or it feels like everyone did. I'm not really a horror movie person. I like most genres of books and movies, and I really like thrillers, but I do not like horror. I don't like the grotesque, like gory elements, but I would say Sinners is more of kind of historical thriller, even though there are vampire elements and mystical elements. The cast is incredible. The visual effects, they did a lot of like practical visual effects. The music is so good. It was this really unique scene at the beginning of a party where one of the blues singer is joined by like other dancers from different parts of history and culture. It's just really awesome. It's one of those movies where I immediately looked at the soundtrack. I've got several of the like Irish songs stuck in my head. Also immediately looked up YouTube videos to watch behind the scenes because the visual effects are mostly practical and they're so incredible. I highly recommend Sinners. It's on Max now if you haven't seen it. Another thing I've been watching is Over the Garden Wall, which is another thing I'm really late to the game on, but this one like by 14 years. Over the Garden Wall is a mini-series animation that follows like two boys that kind of get stuck in this like mystical woods, and they discover different types of people and creatures as they try to find their way home. Really can't say more without spoiling it, but it's just delightful. It is so fall, it's incredible. It's so perfect to watch in the autumnal months going into winter, and it's really satisfying because every episode is only like 10-15 minutes and it's wrapped up in 8 episodes. It's also just a beautiful animation style, and with great music and a soundtrack that I've also been listening to afterwards. Definitely recommend streaming if you haven't seen it before. In terms of music and podcasts, I have really been loving 2 albums recently. The first one being West End Girl by Lily Allen. If you've heard anything about Lily Allen and David Harbour, the Stranger Things star, then you've probably also heard about West End Girl, because really it's about her relationship with him as it kind of devolves due to some alleged cheating, and then they get a divorce. I have to listen to the album all the way through to get like the full experience, in my opinion, because every song plays into the next so beautifully in terms of the story, and it's also so fun to listen to because of every song kind of being a different genre. Just never seen a album like this that is so distinctly different just among songs. My favorites have to be Madeline, Tennis. Another album that kind of is like similar in terms of every song being very different is Lux by Rosalia. And I've been following Rosalia since she kind of blew up like post her flamenco era and more into like hyperpop. But this album is a little bit more of a return to flamenco, but also features 13 different languages. She performed it with the London Symphony Orchestra, and all the classical elements are there, but with like her own spin on it, and it's just incredible. It is so beautiful, and I like constantly find myself wanting to translate the lyrics and also understand how she even like sang this in 13 different languages. That is so crazy to me. In terms of podcasts, I've really been enjoying 2 podcasts, mainly just being the Inklings Book Club with Jack Edwards. Started his book club back in September and released an accompanying podcast where he interviews authors of the books that he picks for his book club, but then also authors of like book to movie adaptations and the cast for those, and authors of other works, mainly translated fiction, which I've really been enjoying. He recently did a series for the October to November pick, Frankenstein, where he interviewed a researcher from the Bodleian at Oxford, where she gave some history on Mary Shelley's relationship with her husband and some impacts of that into writing and editing the book, and some historical context that was really interesting. Another podcast I really loved is Hard Launch with Dan and Phil. Outing myself as a Dan and Phil fan right now. I've been a fan since 2014, 2013 even. And like I've kind of kept up with them throughout the eras, but when they hard launched in October, I really started paying attention again. And I just love how happy they seem to not be holding anything back anymore. And also having like a consistent release schedule from them, unheard of. In terms of books, I've been reading a lot of good and bad recently. Feel free to check out my other videos to kind of get a glimpse into that, and then next week I'll be talking about my November favorites. In terms of physical items, I have a wide array of things. The first I want to talk about is this really nice tote bag from Big Bud Press, which is a Los Angeles based brand that produces clothing but also bags and accessories. I had never planned to buy a bag from them, although I have many pairs of pants and button downs that I love, especially because they focus on unisex clothing, which I have been looking for. And I got into them in college. They had a pop-up at West Coast Craft last summer. I visited their booth and the first 100 people got a bag. So I was really excited for that. This is really great because there's two really big pockets in the front as well as one big one. And the pockets are book sized, depending on the size of the book, you know, but I would say like up to like a 300, 400 page book fits perfectly. And it's just great for like days when I'm popping to work at a cafe or go hang out at the park, something like that. I love that, bringing that bag, and it feels like it can hold a lot without falling apart. Another thing I've really been enjoying, and I've really never been into before, are candles. So this is just one that I have with me. I really love like fresh scents. If it reminds me of like rain or just walking in a forest, I love it. This one is the spruce candle from PF Candle Co. And I like lighting it in my room at night and kind of feeling like I'm just like walking in the woods. I've been really enjoying lighting one in like my kitchen, after dinner and making some tea and reading. I feel like it's a good way to transition to sleep. The Trader Joe's candles, I would say, are like the best deal right now. You can buy them for like, I think $3 or $4, and they go out really quickly, but they smell really strong. And in my experience, not every candle smells very strong. Kind of in the same vein of like clothing, I've really been enjoying this nap hoodie from Gap. It's not something I needed to buy. I definitely do not need more hoodies, but when I was visiting my friend in Boston, we were hanging out in Cambridge and there was a Gap store. Outing myself as a Cat's Eye fan right now, I wanted to see if they had any of the Cat's Eye sweatshirts. Not to buy one, just to look, I swear. I didn't, but I spotted this in the front of the store and kind of convinced my friend to get one because it looks so cozy, and then she convinced me to get one. So now we have matching emerald green nap sweatshirts. They are super cozy. This is probably the softest sweatshirt I have, and it has a really big hood without any like laces in the front, which I enjoy. It is truly living to the name of a great sweatshirt for napping. I have called it my like home sweatshirt, so it's not leaving the premises of this apartment. I don't use a lot of like skincare products, but there are a few that I've really been liking. One of my favorite brands of skincare is Cocokind. I have keratosis pilaris, or KP, which basically is bee skin. Kind of looks like you've got goosebumps all the time. And it definitely varies. I've been using this stick for probably almost a year now. It just looks like this, kind of like a deodorant, but it goes on wherever you have KP. So for me, that's my arm. And it has been smoothing it out. It's been making the bumps a little bit like less red and prominent. Another favorite from Cocokind is actually the very first product I tried from them. It's this chlorophyll discoloration serum. I've been looking for a product to help with redness on my skin, and this has helped my skin tone be evened out. And it's also just a really nice serum to apply. And a really random one, Carmex Advanced Repair. I actually stole this from my mom. She loves the like Carmex pots. It had Burt's Bees, didn't think they worked really well, felt like I was applying them quite often. But this stuff actually works. And it's like a really big tube that goes on forever, and you can buy them in packs of 2. So I just have a couple of them like in different bags. Another thing I've been really enjoying this fall is crafting, particularly making letters and mailing them to my friends and adorning them with like stickers, washi tape, stamps, etc. So I wanted to show some of my supplies. I went to Renegade Craft in San Francisco and got a couple sheets of stickers. As you can see, I've used several of them for different projects. And I also bought some other silly stickers from like Green Apple Books and Noe Valley Books. I also bought some washi tapes that I've been really enjoying. So this one is from Renegade Craft, and this one of just like little black cats is from Noe Valley Books. I've also been enjoying some stamps. A dog one that I got at West Coast Craft last winter, a hedgehog one that I got from Mido, which is a little stationery store in Japantown in San Francisco, and then this beautiful cat stamp from Fog Cats that I got at Japantown Cherry Blossom Fair last year. So I just have a black ink that I've been using those with, but I kind of want to get other inks to try. And kind of impulsively the other day, I also got a wax seal stamp with little cat and books. And I got this from a really cute cat themed store in Japantown. Lots of cute stationery things in Japantown. So recently, one of my friends and I did a bingo activity with the Muni transportation system in San Francisco, where we like went to local businesses, bought something, and then got a stamp. Once we completed that, we got to go on like a transit tour, which is just very nerdy, but we decided to frame them. So I put some stickers and washi tape on this one, and my friend has a matching frame in black that they decorated. I've been growing out my hair. I'm trying to get a mullet. I'm actually getting a haircut this week, and I'm so excited to get rid of some of this. But my friend got me a couple clips from Ireland when she went earlier this summer. So I've been using them to just kind of put my hair back. It's a varying success, as we can see. I've just been using to kind of get the hair out of my face. And I just kind of have them living in this cute little pot that my friend made me. They just live like this on my desk. And then getting on to kind of like food and drink stuff. Still a physical item, but I have been really loving this thick glass from Malin & Goetz. They are a high-end beauty brand. I had been looking into getting a candle from them. And I probably wouldn't have if I didn't have this like 20% off deal that they gave me. But this is the holder to that candle. And I didn't love the candle. I got the strawberry one. I just felt like the scent was pretty faint. But I love this glass. Using it to make like matcha lattes at home recently, which has been really fun. It's like the perfect weight. It's so satisfying to use. And then another thing is this licorice ice herbal tea that I got from San Francisco Herb Company. They're like a wholesale store where you can get spices and herbs and teas in bulk. And I just got like a huge bag from the stand, and I've just really been enjoying the lingering aftertaste of licorice and teas. I love how it just like sits in your mouth after you take a sip, and it's just the most delicious taste. Actually inspired to look for a bulk licorice tea after going to the Wu-Wei Tea Temple in Marin, because they just gave me like a licorice tea that was so nice, especially for fall and winter. And that's all like the physical items. Other things I've been enjoying recently have been, as I said, like homemade matcha lattes and simple syrups. I made like a pomegranate simple syrup and just like a basic sugar and water syrup. And I didn't realize how easy that was. I've been spending like $9 on lattes in San Francisco. Being able to make them at home tempered that urge, so that's been really nice. I've also this season really been enjoying pumpkin chais. I don't drink coffee, so I've never been like a pumpkin spice latte person, but the combination of pumpkin and chai is so good. I have really been loving that. And then just randomly, I've also been loving pomegranates and Asian pears. I've always loved pomegranates, but I just love this season for fruits because those are two of my favorites. Those have been my favorites recently. Thanks for watching. I hope you maybe got some inspiration on how you can cozy up this winter. Take care of yourself. Next week, I will be sharing a recap of everything I read in November, so look forward to that. But in the meantime, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you can be notified when I upload a new video. Have a great week.